The woman was about to get into the car. Suddenly she found her arm could pass through the door. She thought she had gained superpowers, so she directly sat in the car. But just as she started to speak, she heard two people receiving news of a murder case. Soon the woman followed to the scene, but when she looked up she found the deceased was herself. She was dressed in a bunny girl outfit, hanging from a tree with a rope. According to the detective's observation, he determined the woman had been dead for 3 days. Her lower body suffered brutal tearing injuries. Strange numerical symbols were carved on her arm. Clearly the girl endured immense suffering before her death. The dragging marks on the ground were clearly visible, indicating this was not the original crime scene. At this moment the woman looked utterly dazed. She had completely lost her previous memories, and no matter how she waved her hands to express, the detective completely missed her presence. To figure out what was going on, she followed the detective back to her own home to investigate. At that moment the detective found in her computer that someone had been frequently sending her emails. It turned out this person was her best friend. Upon learning of the woman's death, the best friend was also heartbroken. Then the detective asked if there was anyone suspicious. The best friend pondered for a moment and mentioned the woman's recently ex-boyfriend. They realized this person was most likely the criminal, so they went to the bar where he worked. The woman started yelling at her ex-boyfriend as soon as she saw him, but her cursing was meaningless because the man couldn't hear her at all. Just as the detective was questioning her, unexpectedly the ex-boyfriend suddenly pulled out his phone, proving that on the day the woman was killed, he was with his lover. Hearing this, the woman immediately flew into a rage. Without a word she shoved her boyfriend hard. Unexpectedly it made him stagger backward. This accident suddenly made her realize strong emotions could briefly make her feel reality. Seeing her boyfriend really had nothing suspicious, the woman decided to search for clues herself. Back home she stared at a photo with her best friend and noticed the decorative hemp rope in the picture was exactly the same as the murder weapon that bound her corpse. A wave of uneasiness instantly surged through her. Could the real culprit actually be her best friend? She walked into the other person's house full of suspicion. Unexpectedly she found out her younger brother had been harboring resentment toward her. She then barged into the boy's room. Only then did she realize that this seemingly introverted homebody was actually an extreme misogynist in the virtual world. He had been spreading hateful rhetoric about women. Clearly she had become a victim of his twisted psyche. She finally understood that this guy was the real culprit. The next day, the woman brought all the evidence to the police station. At the end of the story, the woman who succeeded in her revenge slowly left the police station. Then her body gradually dissipated, completely disappeared. At this point the entire movie concluded.